Buccaneers, inviting you to join me and Jason Alessi for the home team every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. here on the Facebook Live, the home team with Paul Porter. Special calls about the Bucks, Lightning, Rays, USF, Sun, FSU, Florida, and more. Talk to you this Saturday at 9 a.m. right here on the TAN Talk Radio Network.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
The Tampa Bay Sun have won the USL Super League Championship.
When the Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hands of Tom Brady. I don't know why we ever think it won't.
It's time for the Father and Son's home team on the TAN Talk Radio Network and Facebook Live. The home team is brought to you by Father and Son's Windows and Doors, locally owned and operated with offices in Tampa Bay and Orlando. Visit them on the web at faswd.com and mention the home team for special pricing. And now, here he is, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Well, thank you, Pat Porter. This is Jason Alessi. Paul has this week off, taking it easy, but I'm happy to be joined by our good friend Marshall O'Shields. Marshall, good morning.
Morning, Jason.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to the home team. We got a lot going on, obviously. NFL, college, not really, just a little bit. Anyway, there's a lot on our plate here. We're getting to it. I'm going to wish everyone a happy upcoming Thanksgiving. Hope everyone's ready for a good time there. But let's get right to it. The Bucks, big time, very important game tomorrow night against the Rams. And we're going to discuss this. Is it a must-win? What do you think about that? Would you call this one a must-win?
It's not a must-win to get into playoffs. It's a must-win to prove who you are and show if you are legit. That's my opinion. You can still beat Carolina twice or once and get in the playoffs and win the division and sneak in and go out in the first round like you've done for the last how many years. But this is a prove-it-to-yourself win. I know they're beat up, and I don't want to hear the injury. I don't want to hear any of that stuff. We're going to be so much better when these guys come back. Well, they may not come back, and you may not be that much better. Okay, so you got to play with what you got. That's what everybody does, just what you said right there. But this is a game to them. If you go on the road, like I said this last week when I called, I thought it was a signature game, and I got the feeling last week that they were going to win because in the first half, they looked like they were up to the challenge, and then the breakdown of special teams killed them. But this week, it's another one of those games like go on the road, beat a legit contender that everybody looks like as a top team in the NFL, and you put yourself right back there where you want to be.
The Bucs have lost 2 in a row. They've lost the last 3 out of 4. I think at the beginning of this stretch, this 3-game stretch where they played the Patriots, the Bills, and the Rams, I don't think anyone thought they would win all 3 games. I think a lot of people were hoping they could win 2 out of those 3. But now it's a situation where you lost to the Patriots, you lost to the Bills. You're hoping you don't lose all 3.
You're faced with what do you do after you lose all 3, right?
You still want to get a win. Now, the second half of the season, and I took out the schedule right here, it does get easier, okay? After the Rams,
no, it was easier. It's not easier anymore because Carolina's
here's the thing. You got the Cardinals, you got the Saints, you got the Falcons, you got at Carolina, you got at Miami, and you got Carolina again. So, okay, we're playing Carolina 2 out of the last 3 games of the regular season. I still believe, even though Carolina is right there and are having a good season, of course, that being under the Bucs' former offensive coordinator, Dave Canales, I think the Bucs are a better team than Carolina. I don't believe Carolina is now, I could be proven wrong about this. I don't think they're a threat to the Bucs because I think the Bucs, when they play Carolina, you're going to see the Bucs take care of business. I just think the Bucs are a better team. And I think I honestly believe the Bucs will beat the Panthers both games.
I think the Bucs were a better team. Are they a better team than the Panthers now? I'm not so sure. That's all I'm saying. With Dowdell, the way he's run the football, Bryce Young seems to have figured something out. He's thrown for 300 yards the last few weeks. I like the Bucs, but their defense, Jason, is horrible.
Well, this is where it comes on to Todd Bowles. It's on him to fix it. He's a defensive-minded coach. You've got to find new schemes, different ways. Whatever you're doing, the last 2 weeks, it has not worked. You've given up a lot of big plays. Now, they were able to force some turnovers in last week's game against Buffalo. but too many big plays.
Too many special teams breakdowns.
Special teams was horrible, terrible. I mean, I think they let the same guy, the return man for Buffalo, 3 or 4 different huge returns,
240-something yards on kickoff returns.
That was ridiculous. They got to get that figured out right there. But, defense, I look at this. They did force some turnovers. There's not enough consistent pressure on the quarterback.
Nope. That's the biggest thing.
See, I think the strength of this team, the Bucs team on defense, really is the secondary. I like the rookie, Jacob Parrish. I think he's done a great job. You got Antoine Winfield. You got Zion McCullum. Tyke Smith, I think, is a terrific player. I know Jamel Dean's out this week. You got the rookie Benjamin Morrison, who they've been high on. But the problem is, no matter how good the secondary might be, if you cannot get pressure on the quarterback,
and your top guy, look, we said injuries. Your top guys are out. Your pass rushers are out. Your best guys are out. They're not playing. Vita Vea has been amazing because they're blocking double, triple teaming him, but he can't do it all.
Well, you've been missing Kalijah Cansey most of the year. The other guys there, you got Logan Hall, you got the rookie from SMU, Elijah Roberts. There's Anthony Nelson. You put in there Yaya Diaby, but whatever the situation is, they have to find ways, and this is on Bowles.
They're not getting there.
He's a defensive-minded coach. He's got to figure out different schemes, different packages, different times to blitz, when not to blitz.
And he came out this week and said he put his players in positions to make plays and to win last week. So you just called out your team. You're trying to deflect it off of you because you're getting drilled when they lose and you're not getting credit when they win. Well, that's the job of any head coach. That's just what happens.
Sure it is.
But he came out and said, we put those guys in position. So you're telling me those guys just aren't very good.
That's exactly what you're saying. If you're saying that.
That's what you're saying.
Well,
they're just not very good.
And as a coach, though, you take the responsibility. You don't want to do that. I mean, even if it may be true, you don't kind of throw your own players under the bus.
And when Baker was cooking and the offense was dealing, you were hiding your defensive deficiencies. Now they're not able to make up for that, and that's killing them.
Because when you score 32 points, you expect to win the game.
Right.
And the Bucs scored 32 points. It was back and forth. I will say early on, when the Bucs forced that turnover, they pressured Allen. He threw kind of a forward pass, got intercepted. When the Bucs were not able to score a touchdown there, when they had to settle for a field goal, it may not have seemed like a big deal at the time.
It was a big deal.
That was big because, again, you're looking at how that game went. Had they scored a touchdown, you make a bigger statement early on. You go up ahead. They could have at least stayed ahead.
Yep. Especially in a game that was going back and forth the way it was already headed that way.
They could have stayed ahead for a longer period of time at least.
Right. And then it's not about the number of turnovers. It's about when you turn it over. The Baker interception was horrendous. That just killed every bit of momentum that they had. And Buffalo went down and scored and took the lead. It was just, when they happen, a lot of times it's bigger than how many, I think. And that one, like you said, Bucs got one, settled for a field goal. Bills got one in a big situation, right down the field for a touchdown.
Great game by Sean Tucker for the Bucs. I mean, obviously, Bucky Irving is still out. But
if you didn't see that, he said he was. He called it. He called himself out and said he played great on his tweet. He played great. Well, now, is that a good look or a bad look?
If you can back it up, it's fine. It doesn't matter. If you talk the talk, walk the walk.
But after a loss, you want to come out and tell your team how great you played.
Yeah. No. That's I see what you're saying there. But you need to get. He did play well. I thought Rashad White played pretty well too.
Well, you've already got friction right now. Okay, you guys are there. They're like the whole team is like that. Baker's like that. He came out after the game before. They're all like.
It happens when you lose.
Here comes Tucker, and he does the same thing. And now, how do you right this ship? That's my question.
How
do you right it?
By winning.
Yeah.
That's how you win.
How do you win though?
Yeah.
How do you go on the road in the Rams? How do you win?
Well, I'm not worried at all about the Bucs offense. Bucs offense scores points every game, it seems like.
What is the Rams defense is good.
No, they are. But what are the Bucs defense going to do? That's ultimately the key. Forcing turnovers, getting pressure on the quarterback.
Do you think they're going to stop Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams and Stafford? I don't.
Not completely.
So you got to go on long drives on offense. You got to keep the Rams offense off the field. That's how you win the game.
Can you stop them enough though?
Yep, that's what I mean.
You're not going to completely shut great players like that down. Do it just enough to get the lead and keep the lead, and that's the key. Talking about, is this a must win? It's an incredibly important game. I look at a couple of years ago when the Bucs won the Super Bowl, the 2020 season, and they had that bad stretch in the middle of the season where they played a lot of good teams and they lost to them. They lost to many of the good teams they played, and then people thought, oh, man, this is going to be a disappointment. Even if they make the playoffs, they're not going to go very far. But they got it together, and they played their best football at the right time. So I'm not willing to say that this is a must-win, but it is very important. You got to start turning things around.
But I think the difference this year is I've never seen a Bucs defense except for the game against the Chiefs a few years ago in that stretch you were talking about where Tyreek Hill put up like 200 yards in the first half. Yeah. They're getting gashed. I think any defensive coordinator is okay if you give up a 12-play drive and they go 65 yards and then you hold them to a field goal. But the Bucs aren't even doing that. They're just it's like 4 plays, 72 yards, touchdown. 6 plays, 48 yards, touchdown. It's like they're not even getting a slowdown.
No,
they're just getting gashed.
And of course, part of it against Buffalo, I think, did come from the giving up those big kickoff returns where the Buffalo started in great position right off the bat.
You got gashed by a no-name receiver that hadn't played all year.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't figure it out.
So, again, that is concerning. And again, you knew it to be a tough stretch, those 3 games coming in. You really didn't want the Bucs to lose all 3 of them. They're in danger of losing.
But how did you feel last week when you watched the first half? Didn't you kind of get the feeling that they were going to get that game? I did.
Yeah.
I had a feeling I felt that they were going to get that game.
I thought I thought they were playing well. I thought they would get it together. I figured it was going to be a close game.
Right.
I certainly
wasn't
thinking the Bucs would win by blowout.
They were doing what they needed to do to win that game.
Well, and even into the second half, even because they kept. I know Buffalo would score, take the lead. The Bucs would come right back and take the lead. And really, what it felt like was whatever team had the ball last was going to win the game.
Right, but that's what I was saying about that turnover because they went back and forth and they were jumping. And then when Buffalo got the 2-score lead, was when he threw that pick, and then all of a sudden you can't catch up because your defense can't stop them.
That was the problem. When Buffalo went up by 2 possessions, you had a real problem on your hands. So we're going to see what happens here. Again, looking at the schedule, and I've got it right here. After this, and it's the NFL, so you can't take any of these games lightly. You do that, you're going to lose. But for what it's worth, Arizona at home, the Saints at home, the Falcons at home. Falcons now have lost Michael Penix for the season.
But if you can't win those 3 games, you don't deserve to go anywhere anyway.
100%. Regardless of what happens in tomorrow night's game, those 3, the Cardinals, the Saints, and the Falcons at home, have to be wins.
Right.
Have to be wins. No excuse for that not to be. Then, of course, you have at Carolina, at Miami's up and down. You have no idea what that should be a win. Bucs, at least record-wise and overall, Bucs are a better team, should win. That one's on the road. Then you have Carolina again. From an excitement standpoint, this works out beautifully. Forget about one way or another if you're a Bucs fan or not. Those 2 matchups with Carolina right at the end of the season to determine the division is going to be incredibly exciting.
Because if you don't win this game, then you've lost to everybody that we all thought were better than you. You've lost to every one of them. You lost to the Eagles, you lost to the Patriots, you lost to the Bills, and you lost to the Rams. So everybody that's any good, you lost to. The one quality win was the Seahawks. That was it. And the Seahawks got way better at the trade.
49ers are a good team. The 49ers are another one. They've been hurt. They've been decimated by injuries all year, but they're still good. And by the way, they play Carolina this Monday night.
Yeah, so they're starting to play better.
So we'd like to hopefully we get some help from them to beat Carolina would be nice. But the 49ers are a good team. Houston is coming on now. Houston just beat Buffalo.
Yeah, that's why we say it all the time, Jason. That's why the NFL, especially with injury related stuff, is a week-to-week league. You don't know who's going to play, who's not going to play, how they're going to affect the game. That's why it's such a week-to-week league.
And this week, of course, injuries. We talked about Bucky Irving is still out. I know Jamel Dean.
Nobody's coming back. Nobody's coming back.
Bredesen on the offensive line. He's out. And who's the other one?
Another defensive attack. What's the other defensive lineman? He's out. I saw it on the list.
Oh, Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick is out. Now, Godwin, I haven't heard. He game time decision, am I assuming?
Game time decision.
Hopefully we get him back. And the longer the guys are out, that does give you concern, especially with Irving and Godwin. As long as it's been, you do start to wonder, are they ever going to fully heal? And are they going to come back? The contest this week will be the Bucks and Rams, of course, the final score and the halftime score. And, go ahead and give out the phone numbers here. Please call in. We've got 727-441-3000. That's 727-441-3000. We're going to hit a break right after that, but we got a lot more. We're talking about the Bucks. We're going to get into some big-time college football games. We're going to talk about the Lightning, looking very good right now, bring up the Magic some, but we'll be back right after this on the Father and Son Windows and Doors home team on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340, AM 1350, FM 106.1 and 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
For the first time ever, the home team is endorsing a place for all of you fishermen. And the winner is Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just a half mile south of Ulmerton Road in Largo. Betts, that's Betts, is open 7 days a week from 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday and 9 to 4 on Sunday. Everything you need from clothing to AFCO and skinny water culture to Shimano and Daiwa reels. They also do repair of your equipment. Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just a half mile south of Ulmerton in Largo, and online at customfishing.com.
If your home is in need of new windows or doors, look no further than Father and Son Windows and Doors, the title sponsor of the home team. Right now, for all home team listeners, Father and Son Windows and Doors is offering interest-free financing for 12 months with nothing down. That's right, nothing down. You can get your project done now and not pay any interest for 12 months without putting anything down. We trust Father and Son Windows and Doors at the home team. In fact, I'm one of their customers, and you can too. Expert sales and service, top-of-the-line products, and a company that stands by what they sell. For all of your window and door needs, it's Father and Son Windows and Doors. Visit them on the web at faswd.com. Father and Son Windows and Doors, faswd.com. That's faswd.com. The generosity home team listeners have shown to Reach Out, Speak Out has been overwhelming, and I can't thank you enough. From our entire Reach Out, Speak Out ministry, thank you. The holiday season is here, and many of our families that have been victims of domestic violence won't have the kind of holiday you and I will have. Would you consider a gift card donation to places like Walmart, Publix, Winn-Dixie, or Aldi? We want to make sure every one of our families has food on their table and the necessities of life for the upcoming holiday season. As I mentioned, we greatly appreciate your past generosity. And if you can help us during the holiday season to make the holidays a little brighter for our families, we would greatly appreciate it. The next time you're in your go-to grocery store, maybe pick up a gift card of any size for our families. You can send it to Post Office Box 4979, Tampa, Florida, 33677. And thank you again.
Life Builders Christian Counseling Center brings hurting people to wholeness in Christ. Life Builders is a professional counseling center with multiple counselors and locations in Brandon and Tampa. They offer in-person, Zoom, and group sessions, counseling individuals, married couples, children and adolescents, and families. Some of our licensed counselors take most insurances. Call 813-438-5949 or visit lifebuilderscounseling.org. Life Builders can help. 813-438-5949 and at lifebuilderscounseling.org.
Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Porter, voice of the Lightning and host of the Home Team Sports Radio Show. I'm here to tell you about our educational home team, Cambridge Christian School. No longer Tampa Bay's best-kept secret, CCS is the perfect blend of academic rigor and a biblical worldview foundation, serving families for over 60 years. Come see why we are the #1 rated Christian school in Tampa and visit us at ccslancers.com.
Family owned and operated, T&D Golf on West Waters Avenue in Tampa is the place to find everything you need for your golfing experience at affordable prices. Club repair is available as well. As a longtime sponsor of the home team, T&D wants to make sure you get the very best quality at a price you can afford. Open at 4205 West Waters Avenue, half mile west of Northdale Mabry, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. T&D Golf, making golf affordable.
My favorite restaurant in all of Tampa Bay is J. Alexander's at the corner of Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of I-275 in Tampa. The prime rib is to die for. Steaks are just as mouthwatering, and that's not all. Seafood like salmon, ahai tuna, shrimp, or crab cakes. Don't forget the salads and appetizers like my favorite French onion soup, and top it all off with a homemade dessert. J. Alexander's in Tampa at Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of 275. Open 7 days, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Reservations suggested but not necessary.
The Florida State Fairgrounds is home to so much more than just the fair that runs every February. Concerts, trade shows, conferences, and competitions are all just a few of the things you'll find at the Florida State Fairgrounds and Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater all year long. For the very latest information and schedules, visit floridastatefair.com. The Florida State Fair and so much more, all happening at the Florida State Fairgrounds and Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater. We'll see you at the Florida State Fairgrounds.
Now let's get back to the home team with the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
And thank you. Welcome back to the Father and Son Windows and Doors home team. This is Jason Alessi. Paul Porter is out this week, but I'm happy to be joined by our good friend Marshall O'Shields. Obviously, we've been talking about the Bucs, and we've got the contest going on between the Bucs and the Rams. We're going to go
real quick, Jason. I want to get the score in. Mike K takes the Rams 27-17.
Let me see here. Mike K. Okay. LA 27-17.
Yep. 13-7 Rams at halftime.
Okay. And 13-7.
That way we're still talking Bucks. I figured we just get the score in.
Okay. So Mike's got it there for the Rams there. We're going to get to well, actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and go to RCM. We got the Rubber Cement Man on the line with us. Hey, RCM, good morning. Welcome to the home team.
Hey, I think that the Rams are going to win.
Okay.
40-33.
That's not that far-fetched to be after watching them the last few weeks.
Yep. And how about at halftime?
2020.
2020. Okay, so that's two. So that's two in favor of the Rams.
And if you read my comments last week, I said that who did they play last week?
The Bills.
I said the Bills were so good that if they put on hockey equipment, they could beat anybody in the NHL. If they put on baseball uniforms, they could beat anybody. They put on
football uniforms Thursday night, and they didn't beat the Houston Texans.
Yeah, they didn't look that way against Thursday against Houston.
Well, that was because they weren't playing the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I guess so. I was watching
they were playing a real defense coached by DeMeco Ryans.
I was thinking to myself, if the Bucs defense could have even been half that good, the Bucs would have won that game. I mean that was incredible. That was just a complete turn of events.
They're not even going to win their division.
You could be right. I'm not banking on it.
I still think they will win the division, but but Carolina's obviously.
Oh, come on, Jason.
Oh, come on, what?
What have you been smoking?
They haven't played Carolina yet. We're going to play them the two out of the last 3 weeks. I don't think Carolina's as good as the Bucs.
Oh, really? Carolina's going to win both the games.
I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. Carolina is definitely improved, but they are wildly inconsistent. Carolina had it going, and then they lost at home to the Saints.
Oh,
so the Saints are horrible. So
talk about inconsistent. Oh,
at least the Bucs have lost to good teams. Mm-hmm. But at least the teams that the Bucs have lost to are all good teams. The Saints are not a good team, and they beat Carolina in Carolina. So Carolina, while yes, they're improving, I don't think they're there yet.
Let me ask you this, Jason: are the Bucs improving?
Right now, I would
say
the
Bucs improving? Are the Bucs improving? I'm just saying.
But I still think they're better than Carolina.
I think they're better than Carolina, but I'm just saying I think Carolina's improving. I don't think the Bucs are improving.
We'll have to wait and see. I mean, it's going to come down to those the last two out of those two games. I think that I do believe that's going to decide the division with the way things are going right now.
And it's sad that That's sad.
Why?
Because they should win all these games remaining after the Rams, and then they're going to tell me they're a contender and they win the division. But if you have to come down to the last week of the season after your cupcake schedule at the end of the season to your game against the Carolina Panthers to win the division, I'm sorry.
But I think part of that is because we didn't think Carolina would be as good this year. That's part of that. Right. I think a lot of people felt the
but I think it's better for the Bucs that they are, because then you can prove that you can beat somebody to make
I agree. I agree with that.
You're going to walk into the playoffs beating Atlanta, Carolina, Cardinals, and Carolina again and think you're good? Come on, after losing to everybody you played that was good, except for Seattle. I just think
but Seattle is a very good team.
But I agree with you. I think they are better than Carolina.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they're going to beat them both times.
No, it certainly doesn't. But they have to take care of their business. But RCM, anything else?
Hung up already.
Oh, okay. Well, he's got a score in. That's 2 for the Rams right now. Boy, hope those are both wrong.
I got one more for you.
Oh, okay. Let's get this. Who's
I got
this?
David.
Okay.
Rams 31-24.
Oh boy. Let's see. So Rams 31-24, and at halftime
17-10.
17-10. The Rams at half.
Yep.
So David has the Rams. So right now it's a sweep in favor of the Rams at this time. So
and one more for you.
Okay.
John T.
Okay.
Bucks 31-28.
Okay, there we go.
That's why I wanted to get that one in.
Okay, 31-28 Bucks, and then at half
10-10.
Tied at 10 at the half one. Okay, so John's the first one to pick the Bucks. So we'll keep hearing your score. Both of you call in or give it to us on Facebook. We'll write that down. Let's head over to college football a moment. Disappointing loss for USF last week against Navy. Going into that game, USF basically controlled their own destiny, and as far as making the playoff, all they had to do was win out
and got a gift in return to be able to control their own destiny by a loss the previous week. So was it Memphis? If somebody lost, let's put them back in.
Yes.
And Memphis lost. So all of a sudden now they go against Navy. And like you said, now they control their destiny right into the playoff, and you just trip over yourself.
I think what it shows is USF is good. They're a good team. They certainly have made strides and have improved from the last couple of years, but they're not great. They're not where they want to be yet. To be great and I think to be a playoff team, you've got to be able to bring the same type of focus and intensity every single game, every single week. And clearly the USF has showed against Memphis and against Navy, and no disrespect to those teams, but I think USF is a better team. I think talent-wise they're better. They just they let it get away from them.
One of the things that I remember when I used to have some conversations with Bobby Bowden was Bobby Bowden used to say, I can't get my kids up for 11 straight weeks. So a couple of these weeks, we're just going to have to be able to win on plays and talent. Okay. And that's what USF doesn't have. You can't be up every single week to play at your best for every game. It just doesn't happen. Things go against you. Certain players don't play up to their capabilities. Things happen. You have to be good enough if you're going to be a legit contender, like you were saying, to overcome that and play better each week and play at that level you need to get there. And you're right. They're not at that level yet. They're just not there.
Yeah.
Because if they were, they would have been able to beat Navy in a game that meant the whole world to that university and to Golish and come out on top at a team that was not as good as you, and you lost.
Navy had lost to North Texas, and I know USF beat North Texas. So again, USF plays. They play UAB today. They finish the regular season next week at Rice. I mean, obviously, you hope they win and finish the season on a strong note. They're going to be playing in a bowl game, but it is certainly I think a letdown when you had the hopes and the potential, to be in the playoffs.
Because you don't get there very often.
No, you don't.
They got to that point, which is credit to the program.
Yeah, and regardless of how far they might have gone in the playoffs, I mean, maybe they do get get eliminated in the first round, but still to have the opportunity to be in that position, to have the excitement, yes. And so, that was that was a real heartbreaker. And certainly, USF's offense, they scored a lot of points. They scored 38. The USF's defense, we're kind of like looking at the Bucks. Their defense had no answer for Navy. Nope. Navy just absolutely shredded them up and down the field, nonstop.
And we got game day on in here. Guess what? You win that game. Guess who's talking about you?
Yep.
Game day.
Yes,
who's talking about your program?
Right.
Who's talking about the team that's going to get in? Okay. They're talking about you. Everything you had and wanted and needed fell apart when you lost that game last week. You're going to have a good season. It's going to be a successful season. You're going to look back and go, oh, we were 10-2 or 9-3. And you're going to go, that was a great season. Well, but it could have been a special season.
Yes, it could have. Looking at USF's schedule prior to the season, I really believed, and I'm not going to be ashamed to admit this because I think a lot of people felt this. I thought USF would be 0-3 after the first 3 weeks of the season.
The way
Boise State,
they piled up against good teams.
Was a playoff team last year, at Florida in the Swamp, and then at Miami. The fact that USF was able to win 2 out of those 3 was monumental.
And carry that momentum for the next 6 weeks to continue to get better and show that you were legit.
But and you think, part of you thinks that, well, if you're able to win those kinds of games, well, all the games in the American Conference should be a cinch. You've got this. It's not the case, though. No. Because, again, even though the American Conference is not an elite conference, you still have good teams that you have to show up and play, give it your all if you want to win. And USF, even against Memphis, that was a game they should have won. They let it get away from them. They got outscored 17-0 in the fourth quarter against Memphis. And then against Navy, their defense just had no answers. They fell behind.
That you could have won both of those games, and you would be right there.
Yeah. So again, it's disappointing, but that's the way it goes. USF is still learning how to win these games and trying to get to the big picture. That leads into this other question, though. Does that loss to Navy now make it more reasonable, more likely that Alex Golesh will be back? I know his name had been bantered around, a lot by other big programs looking at what he's doing at USF. And certainly if he were to have gotten USF into the playoff this year, he would be a name right up there with some of the others. The fact that they lost this game and they're not going to be in the playoff, does that kind of make him a less of a, does that devalue him as a potential coach for a bigger program?
No,
in my opinion.
And I'll tell you why, because you talked about at the beginning. There's so many openings out there. Everybody's reaching right now. So everybody's looking for the next guy. Okay, so right now, he still took a program that was not very good at USF.
Horrible.
And built it to what they are now. You look what he's done.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of programs thinking, okay, if we bring this guy in, he could do that for us. Now, that's all I'm saying. That's what Virginia Tech did with Franklin.
James Franklin.
They did the same thing. They're not good.
I am still not convinced. Even if USF were to have gotten to the playoff this year and had an even better season, I'm not convinced that Alex Golesh is going to leave. Maybe he will. I think there's a strong possibility that he likes it here, that he wants to be here for the long term. I know that the new stadium, the on-campus stadium that they're currently building, was a very big reason he chose to come to USF to be the head coach. He wants to see that stadium through. I think even if he were to leave, he may not want to do that until the team has at least played 1 or 2 seasons in that new stadium. But even aside from that, there's also the possibility that he wants to build something special here. He likes being in the Tampa area, likes his family being in the Tampa area. And USF certainly will give him an increase in salary. And the question it comes down to is it about the money and the opportunity to do something with a bigger program, or is he happy building something here?
You are the best rah-rah cheerleader ever for places like that, and I love you for that.
Okay.
But what I'm going to tell you is I'm going to be back here probably in January or February doing another show, and we're going to be talking about his new school. Period. I'm just telling you.
Well,
you make it sound wonderful, but this job stinks at USF right now. Okay, it stinks. It's getting better, but among all college football programs, it's not any of the Power 5. It's not any. So if a Power 5 conference comes calling, he's leaving. I'm just telling you that.
Power 4. There's no more Power 5 because
he's leaving. He's leaving. Okay, I'm just saying if they come calling, he's leaving.
Well, again, and that may be the case, but not all of them do it. Remember Jim Leavitt. Jim Leavitt got a ton of offers from other programs. Jim Leavitt chose to stay.
And what would have been better for Jim Leavitt? It would have been better if he left when he did, when he got those offers.
It was an unfortunate end to his coaching career at USF.
Why do you think they can't keep coaches, Jason? It's not a good job. That's a revolving door over there. It has been. It's not a good job.
I think
it's a job for somebody to build a resume to go somewhere else.
Not being in one of the better conferences has hurt them. Yep. I think if they could be, we actually were talking to Rob Higgins, who just got he's got a big position there in the athletic department there at USF now. And, I asked him about the possibility of them in the next few years trying to get into a bigger conference, a better conference. And he said, yes, that certainly is something that they're looking at, which I think that would be huge. UCF got into a better conference.
Right, and
UCF got because UCF was good for several years. Unfortunately, when all these, the conference realignment and teams changing and USF wasn't very good.
They got left out.
They got left out because they didn't have any, they couldn't really have any leverage or momentum there because the team stunk at that time.
And throw in basketball too. It's the same thing.
But now
the two major sports that you got to be good at is they can't keep it.
Now with the football team and the basketball team getting better, though, I think they are going to have an opportunity.
But what happens in the past? They get better, then they get to that plateau, and then all of a sudden those guys leave, and then you're down again. I hope it doesn't happen. I would love for Golish to stay. I just don't think in this day and age, and you brought it up earlier, there's a lot of jobs out there. There's a lot of teams looking.
Yeah.
And he's still a name that took a lousy program and built it into a program that's going to go to a bowl. Okay. And I think that when there's that many jobs available, somebody's going to be fortunate enough to get a guy like him, and he's going to interview well. I can't remember who they said he talked to. It wasn't Auburn, but it was somebody else that was a big time school. They loved him. He's not talking to them. We talked about this earlier. How much we hate the fact that all this talk goes on.
Yeah.
They're talking to hiring firms. That's how they get around it. They're not talking directly to the schools. There's no violation going on, but these hiring firms are the gigantic loophole that these coaches and their agents talk to and bring information back and forth. And then when that information leaks out, that's when you start hearing things like Lane Kiffin being flown to the governor's mansion and at LSU to, and to talk to, the brass there.
There's going to be a lot of talking, negotiations going along between coaches and teams everywhere right now, and including Florida State might be into the next one because
I hope so.
Because we're going to touch on that.
But
too.
Then if Lane leaves, how about who's Alex Golish, Ole Miss? Okay, I'm just telling you, they're going to come looking.
We're going to look in this. Let me get out the phone numbers right now: 727-441-3000. Please give us a call. We're talking college football, talking the Bucs. You can get in our contest for the Bucs and the Rams tomorrow night. We'll be back right after this on the Father and Son Windows and Doors Home Team on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1 and 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
The Palm Pavilion on Clearwater Beach is back and better than ever. Beautiful sunsets on sparkling Clearwater Beach, relaxing times with a wide variety of menu items, from sandwiches, seafood, landlubbers' favorites, desserts, and your favorite alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks is what you'll find at the Palm Pavilion. Located at 10 Bay Esplanade on Clearwater Beach, they're saying of there's no place like this place anyplace else, so this must be the place truly applies. Come and enjoy a relaxing lunch, dinner, or drinks at one of Tampa Bay's gems that visitors from all over the world make a destination. The Palm Pavilion, 10 Bay Esplanade, right on Clearwater Beach. Visit them and check out their menu on the web at palmpavilion.com. That's palmpavilion.com. If your home is in need of new windows or doors, look no further than Father and Son Windows and Doors, the title sponsor of the Home Team. Right now, for all Home Team listeners, Father and Son Windows and Doors is offering interest-free financing for 12 months with nothing down. That's right, nothing down. You can get your project done now and not pay any interest for 12 months without putting anything down. We trust Father and Son Windows and Doors at the Home Team. In fact, I'm one of their customers, and you can too. Expert sales and service, top-of-the-line products, and a company that stands by what they sell. For all of your window and door needs, it's Father and Son Windows and Doors. Visit them on the web at faswd.com. Father and Son Windows and Doors, faswd.com. That's faswd.com. What will you find at Grace Family Church? Here's lead pastor Chris Bonham.
We want to be applicable to everybody. So I say everyone would benefit from it. Whether you're a child, we have amazing children's ministries all the way up to adults. The whole gamut, really, we cover that. And when they do come, it's the same thing, same formula for everybody. We want to give them biblical principles that are applicable today. We also want them to find their community. We want them to find relationships that are going to really help them grow in their relationship with God. And then also really find a strength in knowing who they are in Christ.
For all of the information for Grace Family Church, just go to gfcflorida.com. That's gfcflorida.com. For service times, campus locations, and more. gfcflorida.com. Come and experience the magic that is Grace Family Church. Again, go to gfcflorida.com. This is Paul Porter. You know, with the schedule I keep working for the Lightning and Buccaneers, a good night's sleep is a must for me. That's why I'm happy to tell you about the Original Mattress Factory. Their mattresses are hand-built right here in Tampa Bay with the highest quality at a very reasonable price. They aren't like these other mattress companies that'll jack their prices up every holiday and then do a so-called super discount during their so-called sale. You actually end up paying more than what the mattress is worth. The secret is, with OMF, you're getting factory direct pricing and eliminating the middleman retailer. There's no high-pressure salespeople either. OMF is employee-owned, and they make it all about you. Double-sided mattresses, and they even email you when it's time to flip your mattress. Stop by their factory on Almerton Road in Clearwater and see for yourself, or visit one of their stores in Tampa or Brandon. There's nothing like a good night's sleep, and you'll get it with the Original Mattress Factory, and you'll get it for less. The Original Mattress Factory.
The Florida State Fairgrounds is home to so much more than just the fair that runs every February. Concerts, trade shows, conferences, and competitions are all just a few of the things you'll find at the Florida State Fairgrounds and Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater all year long. For the very latest information and schedules, visit floridastatefair.com. The Florida State Fair and so much more, all happening at the Florida State Fairgrounds and Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater. We'll see you at the Florida State Fairgrounds.
Did you know that Cambridge Christian School Athletic Department was honored with the Kerry McDonald Award as the 2A Athletic Program of the Year for the second consecutive year? The CCS Lancers have had 71 district championships, 21 regional championships, 5 state championships, and 37 Final Four teams. Over 200 of our student athletes have signed to play at the college level, and one has joined an NFL team. Visit us today at ccslancers.com.
Time for more of the Home Team. Here again are Paul Porter and Jason Alessi.
And welcome back to the Home Team. This is Jason Alessi along with Marshall O'Shields. And here we've been talking a lot here about the Bucks and Rams, and we just talk about USF. And that leads us to another thing with I'm going to get to some of the big college football games here coming up today. But coaching changes, potential coaching changes. It was announced that Lane Kiffin, who is being courted by both Florida and LSU, is going to make an announcement about his future, I think the day after or shortly after the Egg Bowl when Ole Miss plays Mississippi State. Now, I'm thinking about this, and something is confusing me, or I'm maybe I'm naive, or I'm not getting something here. Ole Miss is in prime contention to make the playoff and therefore compete to win a national title. So you're going to make an announcement in which you could be telling everyone that you're going to be leaving the program to go to a different program prior to any playoff games beginning. Now, that led me to think, about the idea that maybe he's made up his mind that he's staying at Ole Miss. You have a different take on this. You just mentioned this to me prior to the show, but I'm just having a hard time figuring out. I find it both absurd and quite frankly pretty lousy, pretty rotten if a guy would make an announcement when your team has a chance to win the national title and you announce prior to the playoffs you're leaving. What's your take about that whole situation?
My take is that we now have heard an announcement that is going to stop the media from hounding Lane, from hounding the program, and allow them to focus on getting to the playoff.
Okay.
And I think the announcement, if they make it, will be, we will make a decision after the season.
Okay.
Because you're not guaranteed a continuing part of the season right now. You are, but you're assuming that you're going to get in the playoff. But you can't come in and say, well, we know we're going to be in the playoffs, so we're competing for national title. So we don't want this deflecting from our program. But I think that their announcement is going to be, we will make this announcement after we finish it, because technically that's the end of the regular season. So you're not guaranteed postseason, is what I'm saying.
So it's
a media ploy.
It's announcement, but it's not an announcement.
It's a media ploy,
yeah.
right?
It's
an announcement without saying anything.
I mean, you might as well not say anything.
But it's just, but Jason, if you don't say anything, then they're constantly badgering you over and over and over and over.
But see, here's the thing though about that, Marshall. If he doesn't say outright, I am not leaving Ole Miss. I'm going to stay here. I'm not going to Florida. I'm not going to LSU. This is where I want to coach. We're gonna play for a national title. I want to be here. Unless he says that specifically with this so-called announcement, then the media are going to continue.
But if you were going to
nonstop.
stay, why wouldn't you do that now?
I agree.
So that tells me that he's not going to stay.
But see, you know what I also agree with? If he's not 100% certain of that, why would you set a date to make an announcement when you're not going to make a final decision at that announcement?
Because they felt like that was the best way to keep their I'm just telling you what they're thinking is the best way to keep their program focused and on the ultimate goal is to make that announcement and say, we're not saying anything until after our regular season is over. Does it make sense to us? Probably not. But I think if Lane was going to stay, he would have put it to bed right now. And he's not putting it to bed right now. So that tells me he's going. I think he's going to LSU like everybody's speculating. But, and then again, like I said, there's another situation where Alex Golish's name might come up. You lose your coach at Ole Miss. Is he the guy to come in there and keep going what Lane has going? I don't know. But who else is out there to do it? You going to go get Kelly? No, I don't think so. James Franklin's already gone. So if you want to continue to be that program, who's your next guy?
This is something, again, that really bothers me.
But Jason, it bothers you because you're a loyalty guy. There is no loyalty in college football anymore.
But I guess in particular, if the team is doing so well that they're on verge of winning it. Well, first of all, let me put it this way. Okay. If you're the coach of a team that you're doing so well, you could potentially win a national title. Why would you want to leave that situation in the first place? That's one thing I don't like right there. I think that speaks completely of greed and selfishness that, well, I'm going to win a national title at this program. That's not good enough for me. That bothers me in and of itself.
You're not guaranteed to win a title. You're not guaranteed to win a title. So you say you stay and then you lose. So you're not guaranteed to win a title. You want to try to win a title,
sure,
but you're not guaranteed that you're going to.
Okay, but you've got an opportunity. Well, so let me ask this question. Let's say he's made up his mind that he's going to LSU or to Florida, and then Ole Miss ends up winning the national title. What then? I think I'm sorry, but I think that would be a horrible look to win the national title at an SEC school and then decide to leave.
But maybe that's what
SEC
Ole Miss
school.
is hoping happens. And that's why they're delaying this. Maybe they're hoping that that happens, that they maybe know that Lane is leaving, but then if they win a title, maybe he'll stay. So that's all I'm saying is that's why I'm saying we're not going to make a decision till we see how this plays out.
I guess I just maybe I have a problem with the fact that the teams can. I know they're not. You're saying they're not directly contacting the coaches, but in a way they are.
Right.
They're putting it out there. And to me, I don't think any of that should be allowed.
But those days are over.
Until the program, until all the games are done.
But that's over. That's a reality. It stinks. I hate it.
I think it's wrong. I'm going to say it into that. That's just not right. And if a team happens to be in a playoff, okay, that coach is not available to be talked to until that team is eliminated from the playoff.
But that's what I said. That's why they're using the loophole. I like what you're saying. We all hate it. We all hate the situation. But then again, you hate the fact that players sit out bowl games, but it's still their right to do it. You're a loyalty guy, but there's no loyalty anymore. When big money's involved, loyalty is gone.
But I'm just saying, if the coach is if you're trying to focus on leading your team to potentially a national title, and you that's part of your focus, but it's not all of your focus, because the other part of it is, where I might be going.
But that's
to this
what
other
Ole
place.
Miss is doing by making this announcement. They're trying to make it better for them to be able to focus on the goal, the short-term goal at hand. That's the only way you can do that, is by telling everybody. Great, you're right. They're going to keep asking, but at least it's going to give them some focus going into the next few weeks. SEC championship game, their playoff, their situation. What happens? I'm just telling you. That's the only way they can handle this. They had to end the quick speculation the best way they could.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I just
Lane could have ended it right now. Lane could have said, "I'm staying,"
which
and then it would be over.
But I'm wondering if he's going to say that at the press conference.
But if he's going to say it then, why wouldn't he say it now?
Yeah, or then even worse, if he says he's leaving to go to Florida or LSU when his current team's about to play in the playoff. That would make it even worse. But
yeah, but he wouldn't be the first time somebody left like that and said, good luck to you, but I'm signing with LSU.
For playing for a national title. I mean, I know coaches do that all the time before the bowl games, which I couldn't stand that at all too. I hate that when they lead their team to a great season, their team is going to go to a prestigious bowl, and then you up and leave for another. I hated that. And I didn't think that should be allowed. But if a team actually has a chance to play for a national title, I have never heard of a coach up and leaving it then.
You don't remember Michigan back in the day when they had the Fab Five and the coach left and went to Arizona, and Fisher coached them through the tournament because the guy left and signed with Arizona, and they won and they went to the national title game. You don't remember that? The Michigan basketball, the Fab Five.
I remember they went to back-to-back.
Remembers it. I saw his reaction.
I remember back-to-back Final Four appearances.
But the first one because the coach left at the end of the season and didn't coach them through the playoffs, and Steve Fisher took over and coached them.
I forgot that.
I'm just saying it's happened.
Yeah.
It's happened before.
I don't know.
It's very rare, but it does happen.
Yeah. I don't know. It would also be the same thing. Let's say if a player from a team that's in the playoff decides to opt out because I want a better opportunity with another team. I think that drives me nuts.
And I can't remember. And Jason, I think it was in the NFL, and I'm almost sure it happened recently. There was a team that went into the playoffs, and fired their coach before the playoffs. I know it happened in the NFL a couple years ago.
It's happened in the NHL too, numerous times.
There's a couple times where they made the playoffs and they fired the coach. So you could be out tomorrow. You don't know.
Yeah.
And
I know.
It's crazy what the world has turned into.
I agree. I think it's bad, to be honest with you. I just think it's winning.
It was the NBA. It just happened. It was the NBA. Who was it? Was it the Mavericks? Somebody did it like 2 years ago.
Or Minnesota.
Or somebody did it where they went into the playoffs and they fired their coach before the playoffs
The
started.
Denver Nuggets.
And
I'm trying to remember. So
no,
it did
wasn't
happen
the Nuggets, but
no.
it did happen, and I know it was Paul would
you're
know.
right. Yeah, but I heard it used to be you're fired because you lose.
Right.
You know what? Now you're fired.
The culture
when you
was
win.
bad, and we needed to go in a different direction.
But now when you win, and when you win big, I mean, who was it? Thibodeau leads the Knicks to the first, the conference finals in how many years? Oh no, not good enough. Boom, you're out.
That's what I'm saying.
I just think the whole thing is absurd on all sides. But anyway, wait, we were in a break. We didn't even get a chance to talk about
real
the
quick.
other games.
I want to mention one thing about college football because we might change. But
yeah,
back when I was here weeks ago, we talked about this once again. Do you remember us talking about Notre Dame with 2 losses and you saying, they shouldn't be ranked? And I'm saying, because they lost the way they did and they should be ranked top 25. Guess where they are now?
Yeah.
They're in the top 10.
There's a
They're in the
controversy
top 10
between
and they're
them
ready to
and
go.
Miami because Miami beat them. We're going to get into some of that later. But anyway, I'll get the trivia question in right after the break. So we'll get that in. But anyway, give us a call, 727-441-3000. We'll be back right after this on the Father and Son Windows and Doors Home Team on the Tan Talk Radio Network. AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
WTAN, Clearwater,
FM 106.1,
WDCF, Dade City,
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Eggland's Best.
I'm Michael Wallace. Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene says she is resigning from Congress. She cited her feud with President Trump and her frustration with what she calls the political industrial complex.
When common American people realize and understand that the political industrial complex of both parties is ripping this country apart, that not one elected leader like me is able to stop Washington's machine from gradually destroying our country, and instead the reality is that they, common Americans, the people, possess the real power over Washington, then I'll be here by their side to rebuild it.
President Trump and New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani seemed to hit it off at the White House yesterday.
They have been outspoken adversaries, with President Trump calling the mayor-elect, quote, a 100% communist lunatic, and Mamdani calling the president, quote, authoritarian and a despot. But none of that seemed to matter when the two met face to face.
The meeting that we had focused not on places of disagreement, which there are many, and also focused on the shared purpose that we have in serving New Yorkers.
President Trump echoed Mamdani's sentiment.
He wants to see no crime. He wants to see housing being built. He wants to see rents coming down, all things that I agree with.
And he added,
I'll be cheering for him.
Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
At least 4 people were shot during a Christmas tree lighting ceremony in Concord, North Carolina. Concord Police Major Patrick Tierney.
Our annual tree lighting event is one of our most cherished and celebrated events in downtown Concord. That sense of safety was shattered by senseless gunfire. 4 gunshot wound victims were transported to the hospital. There are 3 in critical condition and 1 who is in stable condition.
The Thanksgiving holiday travel rush is underway this weekend.
We have a 6-month-old, so that'll make it a little more difficult, but we're hoping that everything's smooth.
It was not smooth yesterday. More than 4,300 flights were delayed. Nearly 300 were canceled.
When we got here, our flight had been delayed a few hours, and then when we checked in, right after we put our bags in and got into checkout, it got canceled.
There are more cancellations and delays today. Gunmen have abducted more than 300 children and 12 teachers from a Catholic school in Nigeria's Niger State. There was a similar attack in Kebbi State earlier this week. Arch rivals New York, New Jersey, Gotham Football Club, and the Washington Spirit meet in tonight's National Women's Soccer League final in San Jose. CBS's Adriana Diaz sat down with Gotham midfielder Rose Lavelle.
How would you describe this moment for the NWSL?
It is such an exciting moment for women's sports in general, and it's just going to keep getting better and bigger every single year.
And for today's big stage at PayPal Park, which seats 18,000, it is sold out.
Tonight's final will be on CBS and Paramount Plus. This is CBS News.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best eggs. They're just so delicious, with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best.
Enough
is enough.
Is enough.
And if you've heard enough of the conservative right-wing agenda that overwhelms the Tampa Bay AM radio band, won't you join me, Ed Golly, every Thursday morning at 10 o'clock for The Voice of Reason?
No spin, no alternative facts. Just refreshing straight talk concerning the events of the day.
That's Thursday, 10 a.m. on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Dawn Reese with the Dawn Reese Show. Most powerful names in entertainment every Thursday at 5 p.m. I have so many different segments I'm so excited to share with you, from miracle stories to celebrity interviews with Hollywood connections to travel to local business, promoting your business on the air with me, an amazing opportunity to grow your business. Tune in to the Tan Talk Radio Network, 106.1 FM on Thursdays, 5 p.m. with me, Dawn Reese.
Do you have questions after being injured in a car accident or injured because of someone's negligence? Do you feel overwhelmed or uncertain about the next steps after being injured in a crash? The personal injury attorneys at Perronick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes have been helping their injured clients since 1955 and are now on this radio station to provide guidance to you. Listen to FLA Law each Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. Let their decades of experience help you and your family. Offices in Clearwater, non-attorney spokesman.
Tune in to the Shrink and Wrap Show here on Tan Talk Radio. Our stories and our topics will include, but are not limited to, everyday issues. We're here for you, for our listeners. We want to know what's important to you. So again, don't miss us on Tan Talk Radio. Tune in again, Shrink and Wrap Show. We'll see you then.
The Shrink and Wrap Show at its new time, Thursdays from 4 to 5 p.m. here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hey, you new to the area or just want to know about the best hidden gems and upcoming events? Stay tuned. Be Local Buzz with Devin takes you to these places, introduces you to the best businesses, and tells you about upcoming buzz. Preset your radio to Tan Talk 1340 AM or 106.1 FM. That is the Be Local Buzz with Devin on Tan Talk 1340 AM and 106 FM. Looking forward to speaking with you.
It's the Be Local Buzz with Devin, Tuesdays from 4 to 5 p.m.
This is Paul Porter, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, inviting you to join me and Jason Alessi for the home team every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. here on the Tan Talk Radio Network and Facebook Live, the home team with Paul Porter. Special guests, prizes, and your phone calls about the Bucs, Lightning, Rays, USF, Sun, FSU, Florida, and more. Talk to you this Saturday at 9 a.m. right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
The Tampa Bay Sun have won the USL Super League Championship.
When the Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hands of Tom Brady. I don't know why we ever think it won't.
It's time for the Father and Son's home team on the Tan Talk Radio Network and Facebook Live. The home team is brought to you by Father and Son's Windows and Doors, locally owned and operated with offices in Tampa Bay and Orlando. Visit them on the web at faswd.com and mention the home team for special pricing. And now, here he is, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
And welcome to hour number 2 of the home team. This is Jason Alessi. Paul Porter is out this week, but I'm here with Marshall O'Shields, and we've had a lot to talk about right now. There's a lot going on, and this is exciting. You know, it's exciting. It's intriguing, too. It's almost mind-bending, some of the stuff going on with the, it's kind of like a plot of a movie. With the,
let me ask you something. Do you think this is what the NCAA wanted? Because there's a talk of everything right now. I just think about it. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. You're talking about them with all these coaching changes, the money, the Kiffin announcement, the playoff. I mean, look at the creation. Well, you're not hearing anything about NFL. I'm just saying, at least not right now.
Yeah, I guess to a degree, but if it gets you talking about things for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, but remember how many years, Jason, did we complain and talk about having a playoff? Okay, it was years and years and years we talked about complaining in the okay. So now we're talking about NIL money. We're talking about coaches leaving. We're talking about the playoff. It's still a program. It's still a thing that can be fixed. But the NCAA's got to be loving the attention. That's all I'm saying.
I think the biggest issue I have and my biggest concern is the transfer portal, where players can just basically at will quit on the team they're currently playing for and then join another team. And they could do so.
You got some kids playing 4 different schools in 4 years.
And I just, that to me was never the intention. And I think that's bad for the sport. And I just think it's bad, just like I feel that I used to love looking forward to the bowl games. And then when it became the norm for them to start opting out of bowl games that were not part of the national championship, and then the bowl game basically turns into NFL preseason, because the teams that you saw during the regular season that were very good are not the same teams playing in the bowl game. And I don't think that's good for the sport at all. I honestly, now that you've expanded the playoffs and you incorporate a lot of the major bowl games into the playoff, I would be fine with doing away with all of the other bowl games altogether and just have that 12-team playoff.
We talked about that, Jason, for 30 years about how they could use the bowl games and create a playoff, and it took them that long. But it took them that long. But now they got this portal thing going on. So how long is it going to take for them to fix that? Or are they trying to fix it? That's my other question. Are you even trying to fix it? Do you care? Are you super excited that these kids can go anywhere they want, that they can go to any program that they want, and that you can buy the best team, you can go buy the Dodgers now, you can buy the best players?
Yeah, if you can, if you're going to allow players to transfer, in my opinion, I think it should be for one time.
I think so too, but our opinion doesn't matter. I'm just saying, I wish that they would. But
if you get into a situation like we talked about a couple of years ago when Georgia played Florida State in the Orange Bowl, looked like it was supposed to be a great matchup. Georgia, their players, their starters chose to play. Florida State did not. And the
62-3, I think, was the final.
It was an embarrassment. And even Kirby Smart.
22 players from Florida State opted out of the game.
And Kirby Smart, the Georgia coach after the game says flat out, college football has to fix this. This is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
This cannot continue. So,
but they didn't.
No, they haven't.
They haven't.
And if you have another situation where, let's say, you have a team that's in the playoff, now the 12-team playoff, and for whatever reason, key players on that team decide that they want to opt out, which is hard to fathom.
But I don't think you're going to opt out of a playoff game. Are you going to opt out of all the other bowl games? 100%.
Well, we're just talking about this. What if Lane Kiffin says he's going to Florida or LSU? And then his players on that team say, well, I came here for the most part for Lane Kiffin. So I guess
they don't have to opt out of the game if they're playing for a national title. I think it's different in the situation that they're in. I'm just saying.
But some of
if
them
you're
might.
Playing in a meaningless game like Florida State was playing against Georgia, that's where you got shunned for the playoffs, so you weren't in.
Well, and who says it's meaningless? That's the other thing that I have such an issue with.
Meaningless to people wanting to watch the game that means anything in the overall.
And I guess maybe this is where the old school opinion of me comes back. If you're a football player, if you play football, it's one thing to be a fan.
I like what you're going to say, but it's gone.
If you're a football player, what do you do? You play football because you love the game. Do you? Do you love the game? Do you love the competition? If your team's going into a game undefeated, or if you're going to a game winless, it's another game on the schedule. Do you love to go out there and compete and play?
But we had this argument, Jason, and
do you not?
You don't understand. I've tried to convince you over and over and over. Those players in that Florida State game opted out because most of them were going to the NFL. Why go play a meaningless game that means nothing to you? But your career, if you get hurt, you're done. But you could go make millions of dollars.
That could happen at any time. Well, I just don't like it.
But don't play if you don't have to. That's what I'm trying to say. You didn't have to.
So don't, my comment on that would be, well, don't play football. Choose a different profession then. But that is what it is. Let me give out the trivia question. We didn't get this in before the top of the hour. But with the Bucks playing the Rams in tomorrow night's Sunday night game, my question is this.
I hope it's about the catch.
How many times?
Nope, I guess not.
How many times have the Bucks and the Rams played each other in the postseason? It's just that simple. How many times have the Bucks and Rams met in the playoffs?
So I was hoping you were going to ask about the Burt Emanuel play. That's what I thought you were going to ask about.
Yeah. That was a sore subject.
Those two teams.
Yep. I know, but that's the question. So if you can give it. Put your answer in there on Facebook, and we'll take it. How many times have the Bucks and the Rams met in the postseason? Going on, let's just talk about. We didn't get a chance to mention some of the other big college games today. We've got number 7 Oregon and number 15 USC. That's the game day crew is live. I think the game's in Oregon. I believe
it's in Oregon.
Yeah. So That's a big one there. In the this is another thing.
Marcus Mariota's a guest picker.
Yeah. But
he's not doing anything else right now, especially for Washington. So.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Marcus Mariota is still a thing? I thought he fell off the face of the earth.
He's starting for the Redskins until he played until Jaden Daniels got in.
Yeah, he's starting for the Redskins.
Commanders.
Wait, who? What is this team you speak of?
The Washington football team.
Thank you.
Whatever you want to call them. What was it good? But going back again, another change in college football that I think is absurd. Oregon and USC, a Big Ten matchup, a classic Big Ten matchup. Yeah,
as far on the West Coast as you can possibly go.
Yeah, so much for that. Anyway, Oklahoma and Missouri, another big. Oklahoma's coming off a big win over Alabama. They're very much alive for the playoffs. They're playing against Missouri, a ranked Missouri team who I think is supposed to get their starting quarterback back. Miami's playing against Virginia Tech. Miami's still very much alive. They actually, though, need help to make it to the ACC title game. They actually need some help to make it to the ACC championship game with either Georgia Tech or Virginia or some other teams losing. But the thing is, I think they're the highest ranked ACC team, which is weird. They have the win over. The best thing that can happen
for Miami is not to go to the ACC championship game because one of the teams is going to lose, and they're going to get in anyway because Miami is a bigger name, and they're going to rank them higher. And the win over Notre Dame is going to get them in. So they're sitting there in the catbird seat. There was a year where Georgia or Alabama, one of them was sitting there. I think it was in a catbird seat where they didn't have to play in the SEC championship game because they were going to get in anyway. Yeah, and that's what's going to happen with Miami.
Yeah, it could be. Tennessee plays Florida. Obviously, that's used to be a big matchup. Far cry from the days, when Peyton Manning beat Florida, he never did, and all those matchups. Steve Spurrier would say, "Yeah, you can't spell Citrus Bowl without UT." That sort of thing. Man, there were some memorable games in that rivalry. Not happening right now. Hopefully, it can get back to that, but it's not the case right now. And Florida State plays. Florida State already played last night. That was a dud.
Well, I'll go back to what I said weeks and weeks ago. They should have fired Norvell when they had the chance. I don't care who they were going to put in there. I don't care if they couldn't pay it. Whatever. You got to figure it out because it wasn't going to get any better. And you saw last night it's getting worse.
Are they still paying Willie Taggart? Who are they still? No, who are they still paying? Are they paying anyone else?
Yeah, Willie Taggart. They're still paying.
So they're still paying Willie Taggart, and now they might still be paying Mike Norvell, and they might end up getting Jimbo Fisher back, who's still he's still counting his money from being fired from Texas A&M. Yeah. Yep. Oh wow. We'll see about that. Let's hit another break here for right now. We'll be back right after this. I'll give it the phone numbers. Please call in 727-441-3000. We'll be back right after this on the Father and Son Windows and Doors Home Team on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
If your home is in need of new windows or doors, look no further than Father and Son Windows and Doors, the title sponsor of the Home Team. Right now, for all Home Team listeners, Father and Son Windows and Doors is offering interest-free for 12 months financing with nothing down. That's right, nothing down. You can get your project done now and not pay any interest for 12 months without putting anything down. We trust Father and Son Windows and Doors at the Home Team, and you can too. Expert sales and service, top-of-the-line products, and a company that stands by what they sell. For all of your window and door needs, it's Father and Son Windows and Doors. Visit them on the web at faswd.com.
Much like the weather, your life could change at the drop of a hat. Don't be caught unprepared. You don't know what will happen tomorrow, but no matter what happens to you, you can make sure your loved ones are provided for with a life insurance policy from Auto Owners Insurance. Meet with a local independent agent and secure a policy now to rest easy knowing you're protecting the ones you love. Visit Vermost Insurance in Tampa Bay today at vermost.com. This is Paul Porter. You know, with the schedule I keep working for the Lightning and Buccaneers, a good night's sleep is a must for me. That's why I'm happy to tell you about the Original Mattress Factory. Their mattresses are hand-built right here in Tampa Bay with the highest quality at a very reasonable price. They aren't like these other mattress companies that'll jack their prices up every holiday and then do a so-called super discount during their so-called sale. You actually end up paying more than what the mattress is worth. The secret is with OMF, you're getting factory direct pricing and eliminating the middleman retailer. There's no high-pressure salespeople either. OMF is employee-owned, and they make it all about you. Double-sided mattresses, and they even email you when it's time to flip your mattress. Stop by their factory on Almerton Road in Clearwater and see for yourself, or visit one of their stores in Tampa or Brandon. There's nothing like a good night's sleep, and you'll get it with the Original Mattress Factory, and you'll get it for less. The Original Mattress Factory.
For the first time ever, the home team is endorsing a place for all of you fishermen. And the winner is Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just half a mile south of Almerton Road in Largo. Betts, that's Betts, is open 7 days a week from 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, and 9 to 4 on Sunday. Everything you need, from clothing by AFCO and Skinny Water Culture to Shimano and Daiwa Reels. They also do repair of your equipment. Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just half a mile south of Almerton in Largo. Online at customfishing.com.
When you talk about ice rink development in West Central Florida, one name stands alone: Iceman Development, LLC. Gordy Zimmerman, president and founder of Iceman Development, has played an integral part in the construction of the Ice Sports Forum in Brandon, the training home of the three-time Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Advent Health Center Ice Complex, a multi-million-dollar facility boasting 150,000 square feet, and ranked the top indoor ice rink facility by both the USA Today and Yelp. Iceman Development is currently involved in creating yet another outstanding ice rink facility in Trinity in Pasco County. Iceman's company mission is to build community projects that impact the area both in quality of life and economic growth. For more information, visit icemandevelopment.com. That's Iceman with two N's, development.com. If your home is in need of new windows or doors, look no further than Father and Son Windows and Doors, the title sponsor of the Home Team. Right now, for all Home Team listeners, Father and Son Windows and Doors is offering interest-free financing for 12 months with nothing down. That's right, nothing down. You can get your project done now and not pay any interest for 12 months without putting anything down. We trust Father and Son Windows and Doors at the Home Team. In fact, I'm one of their customers, and you can too. Expert sales and service, top-of-the-line products, and a company that stands by what they sell. For all of your window and door needs, it's Father and Son Windows and Doors. Visit them on the web at faswd.com. Father and Son Windows and Doors, faswd.com. That's faswd.com.
Thanks for staying with us. Now more of the Home Team with Paul Porter and Jason Alessi.
And thank you. Welcome back to the Home Team. This is Jason Alessi along with Marshall O'Shields. And I want to mention David V got the trivia question correct. It was how many times have the Bucks and the Rams played each other in the playoffs? The answer was 3. So David got the answer 3. It was the 1979 NFC title game, the 1999 NFC title game when the Bucks they were against the St. Louis Rams there, and then the 2021 divisional game, which the Rams won on the last-second field goal, then went on to win the Super Bowl there. So Bucks have not fared well against the Rams in the postseason. Let's hope they do better against them tomorrow night. But there were a lot of memorable matchups there in the playoffs. We'll get back to the sports in a moment. Let me just mention what's going on in Alessi Bakery. We've got, if you'd like to put in your holiday dinner, either whether it be a turkey dinner, a spiral cut ham dinner, roast pork dinner, or just side items or pies, the time to do it is now. Obviously, Thanksgiving is coming up this Thursday. Alessi Baker will be closed Thanksgiving Day, but will be open, throughout this week and the Wednesday beforehand, Wednesday the 26th, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We offer a great turkey dinners. It includes a turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, gravy. You get your choice of vegetable medley, green beans or carrots, sweet potato casserole, cranberry sauce, and your choice of a pie, either apple or pumpkin pie. Also, a dozen eggnog dinner rolls. You can also choose to get just the turkey, a small or a large size by itself. The same thing with the spiral cut ham. You can get it at a dinner or by itself, or also the roast pork as well. The Cuban style mojo pork, yellow rice or white rice, black beans, plantains, and your choice of a pie. So all this, you can give us a call at 813-879-4544 or come into the building. We're Leslie Baker. We're located at 2909 West Cypress Street in between MacDill and Armenia. We're open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sundays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And just, of course, this Thursday for Thanksgiving, we will be closed that day, but open all the other days. And we also want to remind you that about our Christmas party coming up Saturday, December 13th. We will be doing a live remote there. We'll have the show live from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. At Alessi Bakery in the dining room area. Right there in the dining room. We're going to set up a table there. We're going to be doing the show, and we're going to be hanging out, enjoy all of our regular listeners to be there, and of course anyone else who's there at the bakery who's going to be listening to the show can listen to us. We're going to have some food items and beverages set up along the side for everyone. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you can join us there at Alessi Bakery on Saturday, December 13th. We'll be doing the show live 9 a.m. To 11 a.m. there. So exciting times ahead. Marshall, you got any plans for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we're actually going to North Carolina. We're headed out on Monday, heading up there, hanging out with the family until Saturday. I'm not looking forward to driving or traveling because it looks like it's going to be pretty heavy and crazy the whole week.
Yeah.
But yeah, always good to get away and looking forward to spending time with family. We won't be able to do Alessi this year, but I have a feeling for Christmas I'll be back doing stuff for Christmas.
Excellent.
So.
That'd be fantastic. Yeah, my mom and I actually decided, my mom's always looking for, our usual Disney hotel rates. She found a good one up there at one of our spots. So we're going to actually be going over there Thanksgiving Day. We're going to eat over there and spend a few days and come back on Sunday.
Very nice.
Matt, what's your plans? What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Well, first things first, I'm running in the annual Clearwater Turkey Try.
Okay.
I'm running the 5K that morning, depending on whether or not my leg holds up, but that's another story. Running the 5K, and then my better half's family usually does a big get-together for Thanksgiving dinner, so that's what we're doing.
Excellent.
And then it's obviously college football weekend next weekend with rivalry weekend.
So
we'll be spending a lot of time doing that between Michigan, Ohio State, and Auburn, Alabama.
Yeah,
but that's next weekend.
Not a lot going on.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Just a little things right then and there. It's going to be exciting. Let's switch over a moment to the Lightning, who, after a slow start, they are really on fire. They've been playing great hockey. A very exciting game the other night in which they won. They beat the Edmonton Oilers in overtime. They were behind just about the entire game, 1-0. And, wait, I'm so sorry. Wait a minute. Here, yeah, we're going to talk about that. Anthony, I forgot. Is Anthony on the line?
Yes,
Anthony,
he is.
Well, you know what? That's a perfect segue because Anthony's going to want to talk about hockey too. Anthony, sorry about that. Welcome to the home team.
No problem, man. I enjoy the show, guys. You guys fill in a lot of information, man. Marshall, you're bringing a lot to the show. So
appreciate it, Anthony. Thank you.
Yeah. Can we say Vasilevsky?
Yeah.
What a save!
That was unbelievable.
What a save, man. And I'm thinking, here's a team, Edmonton, where they kept saying on the radio prior to getting into the game how the team had been playing a game previously against Washington. And they got beat, and they were pissed off coming into this game. Well, look, man, Edmonton's a team that's spoken up so highly because of one guy on the ice. And what did he do? This is a guy that's been in. I'm talking about Connor McLeod.
We know you love him.
It's like he's been in the league for going on 11 years. Okay, explain this to them. Gretzky came into the NHL in 1979, when the Oilers got into the NHL from the WHA. Okay, five years into the NHL, the kid at 18 wins his first Stanley Cup. He goes out to win 3 more with Edmonton. What has Connor McDavid won? He's won all these accolades. He's won all these division titles and stuff. But we get he has won 0 Stanley Cups. Yet they talk about this guy excessively as this big best player in the NHL. To me, that's unfathomable that they give this guy so much claim to fame. Yet 2 Stanley Cup appearances with the Edmonton Oilers against the Florida Panthers, and the guy has done 0. The guys he plays with, and he's throwing under the bus because he wants to leave Edmonton to go to a team where he can actually make it to get a Stanley Cup. He throws those players under the bus. They were the ones who scored goals in those playoff games. McDavid did nothing.
Right.
And so they're talking about one guy after the post-game radio program. I caught one guy on the radio. He's one of the panel there talking about the ice time that McConnor kind of versus Nikita Kucherov. Big deal, man. Big deal. He's fast. He's excessively on the ice, running around in circles, and yet Kucherov is done his most in scoring goals. Like he can make turnovers, whatever, but he tends to redeem himself.
Well, what impressed me, Anthony, about that game, I mean, the Lightning, they were playing hard, but they were down pretty much the entire game, 1-0. I mean, I know Edmonton scored the goal early on in the first period, and it was 1-0, for all that time. But they keep fighting, they keep clawing away. They finally get the goal, in the third period to tie it up, to force overtime, and then of course that sequence in overtime, just an incredible save by Vasilevsky twice with his leg pad, and then it goes the other way. Gensel gets the game winner. But those are the kind of low-scoring, gritty games that you're able to pull out, and you just feel great afterwards. I mean, that's a sign of a really good team. And again, the Lightning, after the slow start, the way they're playing right now, they look to be in top form, even with some of their players injured, like Hedman and McDonough and Chernak, and some of them, Cirelli, who are out right now.
Nick Paul just came back.
Nick Paul just came back, yeah, and so the Lightning. I think you got to like what we're seeing right now. And,
but you got to like that Andrei Vasilevsky finally looks like he's healthy again.
Yeah,
like he looks healthy, and it's not just because of that save the other night, but he's starting to. That back injury took a lot more of a toll, I think, than any of us know, and I think that he is. If they're going to go anywhere, it's on his shoulders. We all know that. And Anthony, you said it. That play the other night, that's one for the season right there.
But not only that, but they played New Jersey Devils, who were a healthy team coming in. They played Edmonton. Well, okay, you can say, well, they were tired from the previous night, but they were a healthy team. Our team is depleted. And Jason, you mentioned 2 of the vital guys, defensemen on our team, whose veteranship, even though some are saying that they're slow and they're old, but their appearance on the ice revitalizes the team. These young guys that have been brought in, James, we got Curtis Douglas. These guys performed excellent. I mean, they were down, I think, two periods and probably a certain percentage of the third, but for their resilience to keep those guys at bay. Yeah, McConnor was making attempts at attacking, but the way these guys intercepted, kept them at bay, that's really impressive. So I'm optimistic that these guys are just growing into the role. They're getting acclimated to Cooper's game plan.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you
100%. And beating the good teams, not just getting wins, beating very solid teams. That gives us hope that come playoff time, the Lightning are still going to be there. They have a great opportunity to get to compete again for a championship and to hopefully get back to the Stanley Cup Finals if you're able to play this way against some of the better competition. They also had the big win in Florida recently. I think it was a 3-1 win against the Panthers during the stretch. So I mean overall it's very exciting right now. I know they've got who is it, Washington later today, Capitals tonight. Yeah, so.
And Flyers on Monday. So those are 2 opponents that, they're up to the task, and just got to be in there supporting the guys because sometimes the arena gets a little quiet, and we can't have that, man. That's not permissible.
No, I know. Keep the bench. Anthony, how about a score for the Bucks-Rams game tomorrow night? What do you think?
Anything can happen on a particular Sunday, and the Bucs can maybe surprise this team, the Rams, by a win, a close win. I'm going to go 28-23 Tampa Bay over the LA Rams.
Very good. How about a halftime?
I'm going to stay with my 14-6 Bucs.
Bucs at halftime, 14-6. Okay. All right, Anthony. Excellent.
Okay.
Good talking to you.
You guys have a great, blessed Thanksgiving.
You too. Happy
Anthony.
Thanksgiving. Thank you for calling in.
Hey.
All
Thanks,
right.
guys.
And thank you so much. And we're going to hit another break here, but I'll give out the phone numbers right again. Please call in 727-441-3000. And we'll be back right after this on the Father and Son Windows and Doors Home Team on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1 and 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
10 years ago, my wife and I started a nonprofit ministry to help victims of domestic violence called Reach Out, Speak Out. Would you consider a donation to help our ministry? If you'd like to join our auxiliary board or just be a friend to Reach Out, Speak Out by helping with your time, talents, or treasures whenever you're available, please contact us by visiting reachoutspeakout.org. Please send your donation to Post Office Box 4979, Tampa, Florida 33677, 5013C number 47163. 0804. My favorite restaurant in all of Tampa Bay is J. Alexander's at the corner of Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of I-275 in Tampa. The prime rib is to die for. Steaks are just as mouthwatering, and that's not all. Seafood like salmon, ahi tuna, shrimp, or crab cakes. Don't forget the salads and appetizers like my favorite French onion soup, and top it all off with a homemade dessert. J. Alexander's in Tampa at Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of 275. Open 7 days, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Reservation suggested but not necessary. Sooner or later, you're going to need a plumber. It's just a fact of life. Want somebody honest and reliable? The plumber I use is the Bearded Plumber. I've known Thomas since his high school days and now is an established plumber who offers 24-hour-a-day full service because plumbing emergencies don't wait. Keep this number handy. You know you're going to need it. It's 866-882-3273. The Bearded Plumber, 866-882-3273. This is Paul Porter. You know, with the schedule I keep working for the Lightning and Buccaneers, a good night's sleep is a must for me. That's why I'm happy to tell you about the Original Mattress Factory. Their mattresses are hand-built right here in Tampa Bay with the highest quality at a very reasonable price. They aren't like these other mattress companies that'll jack their prices up every holiday and then do a so-called super discount during their so-called sale. You actually end up paying more than what the mattress is worth. The secret is with OMF, you're getting factory direct pricing and eliminating the middleman retailer. There's no high-pressure salespeople either. OMF is employee-owned, and they make it all about you. Double-sided mattresses, and they even email you when it's time to flip your mattress. Stop by their factory on Almerton Road in Clearwater and see for yourself, or visit one of their stores in Tampa or Brandon. There's nothing like a good night's sleep, and you'll get it with the Original Mattress Factory, and you'll get it for less. The Original Mattress Factory. If you fishermen need anything for your fishing enjoyment, you'll find it at Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just a half mile south of Almerton in Largo. Rods and reels by Shimano and Daiwa. Frozen bait for saltwater fishing, clothing from AFCO and Skinny Water Culture, Costa Del Mar sunglasses, and more. Visit them online at customfishing.com. Open 7 days a week from 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 4 on Sunday. Betts Fishing Center, Starkey Road, just a half mile south of Almerton in Largo. Did you know that Cambridge Christian School Athletic Department was honored with the Kerry McDonald Award as the 2A Athletic Program of the Year for the second consecutive year? The CCS Lancers have had 71 district championships, 21 regional championships, 5 state championships, and 37 Final Four teams. Over 200 of our student athletes have signed to play at the college level, and one has joined an NFL team. Visit us today at ccslancers.com. After a car accident, there are many questions that you need answers to. Who pays for my car repairs? Who pays for the medical bills? What about my lost wages? And more. The personal injury law firm of Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes has been answering these questions for their clients for nearly 70 years. Since 1955, they've been a voice of the injured. Established law firms in Tampa Bay, Pernick is here to answer your questions. Listen to their live call-in radio show on this channel every Tuesday evening from 5 to 6 p.m. or call them at 727-796-8282 or visit them at voiceoftheinjured.com. Offices Clearwater, non-attorney spokesperson.
If your home is in need of new windows or doors, look no further than Father and Son Team. Right now, for all home is offering interest-free for 12 with nothing down. That's right, nothing down. You can get your project done now and not pay any interest for 12 months without putting anything down. We trust Father and Son windows and doors at the Home Team, and you can too. Expert sales and service, top-of-the-line products, and a company that stands by what they sell. For all of your window and door needs, it's Father and Son Windows and Doors. Visit them on the web at faswd.com.
Now let's get back to the home team with the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
And welcome back to the home team. This is Jason Alessi along with Marshall O'Shields today. And we've had a lot of great conversations here. Give out the phone numbers once again. And please, Matt, is there anyone on the phone lines?
No, phone lines are clear right now.
You sure?
Positive. There's still nobody on the phone line.
So,
We just got to keep talking, Jason. We're good.
727-441-3000. That's 727-441-3000. Want to mention real quick the Orlando Magic. They kind of like the Lightning got off to a bit of a slow start this season, but they've been coming on strong as of late. They bounced back. I believe there are a couple of games over 500. They've got a big game later today against the New York Knicks. So obviously the Magic, high expectations. You got Paolo Banchero. You still got Franz Wagner. The addition of Desmond Bane, getting him from, I believe the Memphis Grizzlies, I think is hoping he can add that 3-point shot that they kind of really needed there. We'll see as the season goes along. Hopefully that they can keep it going. It's unbelievable. The Thunder, Oklahoma City. I mean, they are not missing a beat. Obviously, there
were no fluke. That's for sure.
Won it all last year. I believe they still only have lost just one game this season. They're on fire. So.
Yep, the Magic are 9-7, sitting in that 8th spot right there. They're hanging. There's a lot of teams jumbled up.
They're big time. It's still early and a lot of basketball left to be played.
16-1, the Thunder. 16-1.
Unreal, man. That's impressive. They're a good team and they're the champion. So until someone dethrones the champion, especially when they've got a record like that to get out, start this season, they're going to be tough to beat. They're going to be very, very tough to beat. Want to get back talking a little bit about the college football playoff. I know that the most recent rankings, the committee put the college football rankings up, and of course they do the bracket, and it is an interesting format. Obviously, you have the top 5 ranked conference champions, and then you have the other 7 at-large bids. We had a discussion. Paul and I had a discussion a couple of weeks ago about, is that a good format? Paul prefers just having the top 12 ranked teams regardless of whether you win your conference or not.
Well, the interesting thing is that's true because, like, if Pitt would win the ACC, they've got 3 losses. Right now, they're not. They could be not ranked in the top 25. They could win the ACC, and they're still going to go because it doesn't say they have to be in the top 25.
Right. That creates the dilemma right there. I would, and from a logic point of view, you figure, well, okay, you've got 12 spots. Shouldn't you want what you think are the 12 best teams? Of course, there's a few issues with that. I like the conference championships to matter. I think that especially going into the conference championship game weekend, you want those games to mean something. And if you take that away, then you're kind of eliminating some of the excitement there and the intrigue. I also want programs from the non-power conferences like a USF who plays in the American Conference to at least have an opportunity to make it to the college football playoff. In a way, you can look at it like the NCAA tournament in basketball, where the team, some of the programs that you've never heard of before, those schools, they get into the tournament because in there all of the conferences are represented, and we've seen Loyola Chicago make it to the Final Four. We've seen George Mason make it to the Final Four. VCU okay, make it to the Final Four. So you give schools an opportunity that they might not have if it was limited to just the big programs that everyone knew about.
Right, but they've done that now, and I like that.
Yeah,
with that
at least
fifth conference champion, that adds that element. They have an opportunity.
Yeah, they have to do well. I mean,
Right.
you probably in most cases you have to probably go, if not go undefeated, lose no more than one game.
But that's the
You still have to
USF
do
had
it.
that opportunity,
They had
and
the
that was
opportunity.
great that they did.
They
because
did.
Everybody has
And they
that
lost it.
chance. I agree with that.
And the other thing about it, if you were to have just the top 12 teams, regardless of conference champion, what you might have is an all SEC,
You're gonna have
Big Ten.
too much bias like that.
I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
I don't. As a
think
fan,
anybody does.
I don't want to see just SEC and just Big Ten. I want to at least see some representatives of some other conferences in there.
Yep.
So from that point of view, I do like this format.
Yep.
At least having it. Now
what we really need to keep that is for one of those teams to do well. Like we need one of those teams to get to the championship game. I'm saying one of the smaller teams.
The smaller teams.
If somebody would happen to do it in football, then that would make sure that I think it stays forever.
Yeah.
But it hasn't happened. Obviously, but it hasn't happened in a while.
Well, and
the new format, hopefully it could happen, but we'll see.
I know that one change this year from last year is the teams that get the first the bye, the first round bye, the top 4 teams, those are not determined by conference whether you've won your conference championship or not. Last year it did. In order to get a first round bye, you had to be a conference champion. They've done away with that this year. It's just going to be
that's the Notre Dame rule,
right? Yeah, it's just going to be the top 4 who they have the top 4 teams at the end of once all the conference championship games have been played. So it could be a mixture of some conference champions and some who did not win the conference championship. So we'll see what happens. But Miami's in an interesting dilemma too, because they lost. They might not play in the conference championship game.
But they could be the highest ranked team left in the ACC when it's all said and done.
Yeah, because again, they had win over Notre Dame. Matt, we need a break, you said? Yep. Okay, let's hit a break here. Give out the phone numbers once again, 727-441-3000. We'll be back right after this to finish things up here on the Father and Son Windows and Doors Home Team on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1 and 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
If your home is in need of new windows or doors, look no further than Father and Son Windows and Doors, the title sponsor of the Home Team. Right now, for all Home Team listeners, Father and Son Windows and Doors is offering interest-free for 12 months financing with nothing down. That's right, nothing down. You can get your project done now and not pay any interest for 12 months without putting anything down. We trust Father and Son Windows and Doors at the Home Team, and you can too. Expert sales and service, top-of-the-line products, and a company that stands by what they sell. For all of your window and door needs, it's Father and Son Windows and Doors. Visit them on the web at faswd.com.
Grace Family Church continues to grow with now 8 locations throughout Tampa Bay. Here's lead pastor Chris Bonham on the success of Grace Family Church.
We as a church, we want to be relevant to all people of all ages, and we've been excited to see that. Especially at this time, we're seeing a real hunger for people to come know more about God, know more about the Bible, and we feel like what we're doing on the weekends and in our midweek stuff is really helping people take those steps. So being relevant, but not only relevant, being applicable. So they're going to hear a spiritual principle taught, and then they're going to find out, how can I put that into my life tomorrow?
For more information on Grace Family Church, including locations of their 8 campuses and the times of the service on both Saturday and Sunday, go to gfcflorida.com. Once again, that's gfcflorida.com. Come and experience the magic of Grace Family Church.
If you fishermen and ladies need anything for your fishing equipment, you'll find it at Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just half-mile south of Omerton Road in Largo. Rods and reels by Shimano and Daiwa. Frozen bait for saltwater fishing. Clothing from AFCO and Skinny Water Culture. Costa Del Mar sunglasses and more. Visit them online at customfishing.com. Open 7 days a week from 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, and 9 to 4 on Sunday. Betts Fishing Center, Starkey Road, just a half-mile south of Omerton in Largo.
The Palm Pavilion on Clearwater Beach is back and better than ever. Beautiful sunsets on sparkling Clearwater Beach, relaxing times with a wide variety of menu items, from sandwiches, seafood, landlubbers' favorites, desserts, and your favorite alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks is what you'll find at the Palm Pavilion. Located at 10 Bay Esplanade on Clearwater Beach, they're saying of there's no place like this place anyplace else, so this must be the place truly applies. Come and enjoy a relaxing lunch, dinner, or drinks at one of Tampa Bay's gems that visitors from all over the world make a destination. The Palm Pavilion, 10 Bay Esplanade, right on Clearwater Beach. Visit them and check out their menu on the web at palmpavilion.com. That's palmpavilion.com. Your number one home team fans, Auto Owners Insurance and Vermost Insurance Agency is a winning combination. We'll work with you to ensure your home, auto, business, and life to keep everything you value safe, sound, and secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit the Vermost Insurance Agency in Tampa Bay today at vermost.com. That's vermost.com. Did you know that Cambridge Christian School Athletic Department was honored with the Kerry McDonald Award as the 2A Athletic Program of the Year for the second consecutive year? The CCS Lancers have had 71 district championships, 21 regional championships, 5 state championships, and 37 Final Four teams. Over 200 of our student athletes have signed to play at the college level, and one has joined an NFL team. Visit us today at ccslancers.com.
Time for more of the home team. Here again are Paul Porter and Jason Alessi.
Thank you. Welcome back to the home team. Jason Alessi here and Marshall O'Shields. Marshall, wanted to bring this up a little bit. We talk about analytics throughout sports and how it's kind of taken over. And people say, well, they almost have a chart. Well, if it's this scenario, you do this. If it's that scenario, you do this and differently. Specifically in football, from what I've seen, something that's bothered me a little bit. I think that it's one thing to be aggressive. It's another thing to be kind of reckless and foolish in your decision making. And I'm talking about specifically going for it on fourth down when it's more than a single yard, or going for it on fourth down when you're near your own territory on the field, or giving up the chance to kick a field goal to get 3 points to go for it on fourth down, or going for 2 points when there's a lot of time left in the game, when it's not yet the fourth quarter, but you're constantly going for 2 because you feel you have to. If you have a chance to tie it with a 2-point conversion early in the second quarter, you just have to tie it up at that point. You can't be behind by just 1 point, because that means you might lose the game later on. Some of these ways of thinking, when you leave points behind, you leave points on the board, or you choose to go for it when it's 4th and 2 or 4th and 3, which is probably going to be a passing situation. I just think that's I think that's costing some teams games.
Well, I'm a field guy, and I think that you go into these games like, I'll give you the perfect example of Buffalo last week and the Bucs. If I'm Todd Bowles and my defense can't stop them, my punter is never seeing the field again.
Yeah.
I think it's a field thing. Now, if my defense is stopping people, then, or if we have been running the ball effectively, that's going to affect my decision more so than what the analytics tell me. I agree with you. I don't like it. I think teams are stupid. They'll say things like, well, you got to get a touchdown here. Field goal, you can't hold them. You don't want to settle for a field goal. Well, guess what? 3 is better than 0.
Yes.
Okay. That's my opinion. 3 is better. Guaranteed 3 for me, with these guys kicking 55-yarders like they're extra points, is better than 0.
Also,
in my opinion.
Also another thing, some teams that try to win it with a 2-point conversion at the end, as opposed to going for overtime. Now, what that tells me, now I know the rules used to be that sometimes if you don't get the coin flip, you might never see the ball again. Right. Which that can happen. The rules, though, in the NFL now are different, where both teams are going to get the ball. If you try to win it in regulation, that tells you have no confidence in your team's ability to win it in overtime. You're basically saying it's an act of desperation, saying we have to win it now, because if we don't, there's no way. If we would just tie it, it goes to overtime, we're done. And I think that's a terrible thing to think about your own team.
I'm not going to disagree with you, but I am going to say that I think, again, on a field thing, like if you have pulled a 17-point comeback like the Broncos did in the one game, or a 28-point comeback, and all of a sudden you have a chance to win the game and the other team is on its heels, I have no problem trying to go for the win there rather than overtime.
28-point. You will be talking about the 94, the choke at Doak.
Yeah, well, that game was
31-3. They went for the tie as opposed to going for the. They didn't have overtime.
But they also got the ball back, and they had a chance to win the game, and they ran out of time. But I just think that it's a field thing for me. If I think I'm playing better than the other team, maybe I'm going to go to overtime and take my chances. But if I'm feeling like if I'm a team that's desperate for a win, I'm the Tennessee Titans, and we've won one game all season, and I get the opportunity for 1 2-point play, I'm going to go for the win versus go for overtime and find another way to lose like we've done all season. That opportunity to win only presents itself so often, I guess, is what I'm saying. There are some
situations and I get it. And once you enter the fourth quarter, you get into a situation where you're limited in the number of possessions you're going to have.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how many possessions you're going to have. So I get in a situation then, if you got to go for 2 points, then that would be the time to do it. I just think that earlier on in the game, when there's a lot of game left, you don't know how the scoring is going to go for the rest of the game. You just don't know. Is the other team, are they going to get a few field goals? Are they going to score a touchdown? Or is there going to be a safety? Is there going to be a safety in the game? You just don't know. So anytime you have a chance to get points, be it an extra point for 1, be it a field goal for 3, again, unless it's fourth down and a yard or less, I think it'll be wise to take the points in some situations. But
you and I don't agree on a lot, which makes it better, interesting radio. But I agree with you. I think I'm taking points whenever I can take points. I'm that philosophy guy. 3 is better than 0. Okay, so I want 3 points when I can get 3 points, and I'm not going to sit there and mope on the fact that I didn't go for it on fourth down and fourth and goal from the 4-yard line, and we backed them up. Well, too bad. I got no points for that.
And especially at the end of the game, when you look at the final score, if that final score is within 3 points, and you think about the opportunities you gave up to get some of those points, that right there could make all the difference.
And the same thing with kicking extra points and going for 2.
That's a difference.
Kicking extra points and until I desperately have to go for 2.
It's the difference between win and a loss sometimes. Let's go to the scores here. We're going to hit from Marshall. What's your take on tomorrow night's game with the Bucs and the Rams?
I got to tell you, I just think this is one of those games that I said it last week. I thought the Bucs would come out and play well and they could go get that game. And they proved me right for almost 3 quarters. And then the defense and the special teams just collapsed. I don't know if they can stop this Rams offense. I just think that, Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams is having a good year.
And Matt Stafford has been quietly kind of under the radar, having a
outstanding
year. Even maybe it was his best season ever.
And the one thing I do know about this game is the Rams defense is way better than the Bills defense was. And so I just see this being a struggle for them from the start. I think they'll hang around, but I think the Rams will continue to put points on the board. And if I have to say which team will stop the other team, I see the Rams stopping the Bucs really quickly before I see the Bucs stopping the Rams. So I'm going to say that the Rams win 34-27.
Okay. And halftime?
And I'll go 24-10 at halftime.
Rams at halftime. Okay. Matt, what say you?
All right, it's going to be 14-all at the half. We're going to end it. We're going to hit halftime tied.
Okay.
That's such a Matt pick.
Yeah, and I hate saying
it's a lot
this.
Of people's picks.
I hope like hell I'm wrong. 27-24 Rams final.
Okay. 27-24. I am going to go with the Bucs. Sometimes I go with my heart, but I still say the Bucs. I think they're capable of playing and beating any team in the league. It's just a matter of making a handful of more plays than they've been able to do, and I'm hoping that they can do that this week. I'm going to go with the Bucs winning 28-24, and I'll say the Bucs will be up at halftime. Let's say, I'll say 21-17. I'll say Bucks lead.
So it'll be a very high scoring affair. Okay.
I think so.
So when you say you expect them, do you think they'll make a more plays here and there? Are you talking offense or are you talking defense?
I think it's going to need to be defense because again, I have no worries about the offense. I think will make plays, and obviously it would help if they could score touchdowns and not. I mean, going back to our other point, you don't give up points, but it certainly would help if they could get it in the end zone as opposed to settling for field goals.
And how about making a special teams player too?
Well, that
how about a return?
I could not believe that snatched the momentum right back from them in that game. Every time the Bucks would score to take the lead back, then you give up a huge run. But I would say if on special teams,
kick it out of bounds.
And you kick it in the end zone. Kick it out of the end zone. I think it starts on the 35-yard line. But even that would be better than if your special teams.
Better than the 50 or the other side of the field.
Yeah. So anyway, I think it's going to come down to again pressure on the quarterback. I don't care how good a quarterback you are. No quarterback likes being under duress. No quarterback likes having to get rid of the ball with a guy right there in your face. It throws off the timing. It makes the pass less accurate. You forces a deflection, a turnover. You have to get the heat on the quarterback. They've got to get after Matt Stafford in this game.
You can change the game defensively, and they haven't been doing it.
Big time. But anyway, I'm going to be out next week. Paul's going to be back. It's going to be about Matt and Jacob Noyes are going to be in for you. Marshall, thanks as always.
Yes, sir.
And anytime you can come on, this is going to be great.
Thanksgiving to everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Safe holidays, safe travels. And we'll be back right at the same time next week on the home team on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3. And as always, Facebook
Live.